What's been the biggest key to your individual success this season?
I would say first just my body, working in the off season this summer of getting my body the best I can. So when the season did come around, whatever it really shows the work that you put in, and that final product is kind of how you're going to do during that season.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
Hello and welcome to another 3-Mall Wildcat Weekly Player Spotlight, brought to you by Riverbank Brewing in Council Grove in partnership with Wildcat NIL, and we are joined today by a repeat guest, actually the third time he's been on 3-Mall in his Kansas State career. Senior defensive end Brendan Mott is with us. Before we get started with Brendan, I want to tell you, as always, about our friends at Riverbank Brewing, just 35 minutes from Manhattan. Riverbank is located on a scenic setting just off Main Street in Council Grove and overlooks the Neosho River. Really cool historic building with tons of charm, huge outdoor covered patio that's an amazing setup with TVs outside and inside, plus garage doors that lift up to the patio toward inside to open things up and enjoy that cool, crisp fall air. Plus some amazing craft beers Riverbank brews in-house, as well as several cocktail options mixed with whiskey, vodka, and their fall menu of Lewisburg apple cider. If you don't have tickets to the Wildcats game Saturday, go to Riverbank Brewing, enjoy some drinks while watching the Cats on one of their many TVs, or go pick up some beer to go from Riverbank and bring it to your tailgate. Go to riverbankbrewing.com for more information. Open Wednesday and Thursday from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Head on out to Riverbank Brewing and enjoy some craft beers and cocktails in the beautiful Flint Hills and support a local business supporting K-State student-athletes and Wildcat NIL. Brendan, how's the body feeling after the bye?
It's good. It feels great, and this is the first time in my 6 years that we've had 2 byes, let alone a bye in November. So usually after 3-4 weeks you have a bye, and then it's a long stretch. So this year having the bye when it was huge, and we were able to get our bodies back.
I was going to say, it feels like the bye is set up in a perfect time slot throughout the schedule this year. You had it after 5 games before the Colorado game, and then right now for the stretch run. What were some of the things you guys worked on during the bye week?
Yeah, it's really kind of depends what kind of guy you are and how many reps you've taken through the season. If you were kind of like a high mileage, high rep guy, your main focus was to kind of get your body back, get your weight back, and stuff like that. And then if you're a guy who's younger and still developing, that was a chance for coaches to really work with you one-on-one and try to get better with you and see what kind of things you've been progressing with and stuff like that. And I remember in my younger career and way back when, that was a huge week for me, the bye week, because I was able to work with the coaches and have those opportunities to go against other players and play in our defense. So it really depended what kind of guy you were, but like I said, it was a good bye week, coming off of a tough loss, and I believe we really got our bodies back, but we still got the work in. So.
When you mentioned keeping your weight up, I am curious because when we talked in the off season, you mentioned you wanted to add a little bit of weight as well. Like, how hard is it to keep weight on during the season?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It's been easier for me this year just because my class schedule this year has been a lot easier, so I'm able to be at home more and able to cook those meals and stuff like that. In the past, it has been a real struggle, but my weight's been doing really good this year, and I give credit to, we have a great nutritionist, Scott Troush, who I work with closely, and then also, like I said, the class schedule being easier has helped out immensely.
What's your go-to meal that you cook, Brandon?
I have an issue of, like, I'll have a meal and then I'll eat the heck out of it until I get super tired of it. So I'd say right now, although I don't think I'll ever get tired of this, I've been making a lot of steaks, a lot of ribeye steaks, cooking them on the grill, and then eating with it, like some eggs and some sweet potatoes and stuff like that. So that's been the go-to.
We'll get to football-specific questions here in a minute, but I'm curious, what do you do when you do get these rare college football weekends when you don't have a game? Do you watch other games on TV? Do you get away from the game for a couple days, take a break?
I watched a bunch of football this past weekend. Usually after we play, and if there's football on that night, and especially NFL on Sunday, I'll kind of stay away from it and get away from it and kind of reset. But it was a good bye week, and I watched some football, but I also got away and hung out with some family and some friends, and was at a wedding with my girlfriend, and so it was nice to get away from things and just enjoy life, kind of.
One of our listeners wanted me to ask you this, Brandon. I think he saw you went hunting as well. Did you go hunting?
Yeah, I went hunting. Me and Garrett Oakley we went duck hunting on Tuesday.
Okay, the specific question I got was they want to know what kind of ducks you saw. Do you see mallards, wood ducks, pintail? Look, I'm trying to sound all smart here. I'm not a expert hunter, but he was curious what kind of ducks you guys saw.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of ducks flying compared to we went a bunch last year, and it wasn't as good, but we saw a bunch of green wing and blue wing teal, and then a bunch of mallards too. So I'd also like to say if anyone out there listening has some private land that would love to go hunting with some football guys, hit me up or hit Garrett Oakley up. We'd love to do that.
There we go. That's a nice plug. Look, we have a lot of listeners, and I'm sure one of them will be able to probably help you out, Brendan. So hook Brendan up, guys. Send him a tweet or DM him on Twitter, and figure out a way to get that hunting trip set up. It sounds like a great deal of fun. Well, Brendan, we mentioned this is your third time actually on the show, and you actually announced on 3 Mall Live last December your return to Kansas State for a 6th season, along with Austin Moore when you both came on. And man, we're sure glad you're back for a 6th year. You've been one of, if not the best defensive end in the Big 12 this season. And for folks who maybe haven't heard your reasoning before, what were some of the key deciding factors in your decision to return for one more season?
Yeah, I told Austin today that I was going on and talking with you guys, and he talked about how the last time, or someone joked around and said if I was coming on to announce coming back for a 7th year. So I thought that was funny. Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons, a lot of talking with the coaches, my family, with just all the resources that I had. And the biggest reasons were to come back and kind of help my stock, because I have a dream and aspiration to go on to the next level. And I believe that coming back would help me in the right direction to achieve that dream. And then also, I love my teammates. I love the players. I love the coaches, and I wanted to come back and add an opportunity to come back for another year and be around those guys and help be a leader and help with our team success throughout the season. And then lastly, I had like a couple classes left in my MBA, so coming back to be able to finish that was huge for me, and that's something that my mom wanted to, obviously. So
yeah,
a lot of reasons, but after talking with, like I said, my family and coaches and Coach Kleiman and stuff, it really became an easy decision, and I'm super glad that I chose that route, and it's been a super fun journey so far.
Hey, if we can find a way to get you back for a 7th season, I think everybody, all the fans and coaches, I'm sure, would be thrilled to try to make that happen, Brendan. We'd love to have you back, but know that this is probably it. Look, you've had an outstanding season and rank 11th in the country and tops in the Big 12 with 8 sacks, a new career high for you. You're also 2nd in the Big 12 in pressures and pressure rate. What's been the biggest key to your individual success this season?
I would say first, just my body. Working in the off season this summer of getting my body the best I can. So when the season did come around, whatever, it really shows the work that you put in, and that final product is kind of how you're going to do during that season. And then, like I mentioned earlier about the class schedule, of having an easier schedule and having more time to watch film and maybe take a nap or get an extra meal in, or whatever recovery that I can do to make sure that my body's 100% come Saturday. And then just using resources outside of K-State. In May, I went down to Florida and I worked out at a facility, and I worked out with some pass rush guys, and just really growing in that area of there's so much to learn in the game of football, and let alone that of pass rush, and just being a student and always wanting to learn and grow. I think that's helped me in my game, and that's helped for my success on the field.
When you study your opponent, like what are you looking for when you're watching film of your next opponent? Like, are you watching the tackle you're going to probably be going up against, and what he might be susceptible for, and what pass rush type move might have worked on him if he's slow getting off the snap, et cetera? Like, what do you kind of look for when you're breaking it down and watching film?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm watching both tackles, trying to see if they have any keys or reads or tendencies on if I can get a run pass read, how he blocks this certain play. And then I'm obviously watching most, if not all, of his pass rush snaps, especially ones that he's a lot of pressure or a lot of sack on, and see what kind of things has worked in the past, what other opponents have beat him with. And then carrying that into practice throughout the week of now I'm incorporating those moves against the guys on scout team or the good on good that we do in practice. So when the game does come around, I kind of have those moves going on in my mind, and I have my pass rush plan come Saturday.
Well, we had Taylor Portier on the show last week, and maybe we need to have Austin on again just to get through all you 6-year guys that have been here together, Brendan. But when we talked last week with Taylor, we talked about how similar situation in 2022. You guys lost to Texas at home. You needed to win your final 3 games, needed a Texas loss. This year you got 3 games left. You need to win out to make the Big 12 title, in all likelihood need a Colorado loss. I mean, you're a leader on this team. What's kind of been the message that you and the other captains have given to the guys since the Houston game?
Yeah, we know it needs to happen, but at the end of the day, we can only control what we can control, and we have a tough opponent this Saturday and then 2 more to follow. So that's really our main worry and the main thing that we're focused on, and we can't think too far ahead, and whatever happens is going to happen, and it's all going to take care of itself. So we're going to try to do our part, and what we have to do is win out these next 3 games, and especially get past Arizona State this Saturday.
You hinted at this earlier in the show, but I am just curious, how would you say the guys bounced back from that Houston loss?
Yeah, it was a nice timing for the bye week. It was a tough loss. Everyone on the team was pretty devastated, and that's something Saturday night that we were down about. But come around Sunday and come around Monday, you really just have to treat that like it's in the past and it's in the rearview mirror, and you learn from the mistakes that we made in the game and what we could do better, and then you just got to move forward, and you got to just go back to work, and that's kind of what we did. And like I said, it was a great timing for the bye week to kind of reset and get our bodies back, and then come the start on Monday, able to go full speed and study for Arizona State.
A few more and we'll get you out of here, Brendan. I think I noticed a few snaps against Houston. You were more in a stand-up position off the ball. Is that something you like and maybe think you'll do more of moving forward?
Yeah, that is something that we're definitely incorporating, especially since we're down a couple linebackers, giving us the opportunity to play a little more stand-up and maybe drop or pass rush. And that was something in December, talking about coming back, was kind of a focus that I had brought up with Coach Kleiman and the coaches, and they agreed that they would think about incorporating that in, and it's been a good transition, something we worked on in the spring and then the summer in camp, and I think it's a fun position, and it's also good for people to see that we're able to play with our hand down, but also playing a stand up and dropping coverage and things like that. So super fun, and we had some good production. So I look forward to what kind of things we might have game planned up in the future.
Probably don't want to think about this yet, but it's probably the last time we're going to talk to you before this. Senior day is just a little over a week away. How will you look back at your time at K-State when it's all said and done? And maybe what are your top couple of memories and moments during your time here?
Yeah, my mom actually texted me earlier this week and said that I really only have like a month and a half left in Manhattan or something like that. And she kind of asked how I felt, and I said it was really bittersweet. It's been a super fun time I've had in Manhattan. It's been a long time, 6 years, but good things always have to come to an end, and I'm super glad and super proud of what I've accomplished, and I just can't thank my family and the coaches and all of them enough for what they've poured into me and supported me. And come senior night, it's going to be an emotional one, but it's something that it's got to happen, and I look forward to it. And as far as favorite memories, man, there's so many good times that I've had in Manhattan. This place is super special to me.
Yeah, and I mean, on we hope you have opportunities to create several more memories here down the stretch, Brendan, and hopefully another Big 12 championship, which would be terrific. And you mentioned family. Your dad was a third-round pick in the New York Jets, played in the NFL with the Packers and 49ers as well. You mentioned your mom. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received from them? And it can be football related or not.
I would just say that they've been such a great support for me, and even coming out of high school, obviously we're a big football family, but they always preach that no matter what decision I choose, whether it's to go play football or to just be a student somewhere and just live that college life, they'd support me whenever I did. And then when I ultimately did want to play football on the collegiate level, they were a huge support, and I wasn't a very highly recruited kid coming out of high school, and they would just keep saying how I just needed a chance and an opportunity. And thankfully, and I can't thank Coach Kleiman and Taylor Bratt enough for the opportunity that they gave me to walk on to Kansas State. And like I said, that's all I need was an opportunity to get my foot in the program and get to work and put on the weight and the muscle. And then looking back on it now, it's been a great decision.
What stands out to you on film about this Arizona State offense?
They have a really good running back, really tough guy, not afraid to lower his shoulder, and then some good playmakers at wide receiver, and then their quarterback's a heck of an athlete. Yeah. I feel like we say this every single week of we have a really good athlete at quarterback, that we have to have smart pass rushes and a good pass rush plan to get after him and make his game difficult, but also we can't let him out of the pocket because he is super quick and he can extend plays if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been tested with that the last few weeks, right? I mean, you had Jalen Daniels of Kansas, Garrett Green of West Virginia, Chris at Houston. I mean, I can't imagine the stress that puts you on as a pass rusher, where you just want to get upfield, get to him, but you have to have contain as well. One more question, and we'll get out of here, Brendan. One of our listeners asked why you picked the sack celebration that you've always had at K-State and where it came from.
Yeah, the McGregor, the billionaire strut. I love MMA. I like the UFC. Of course, Conor McGregor's the guy for that, and I was a huge McGregor fan all of high school. I thought he was the man, and he always puts on a show, and so I kind of had to follow in his footsteps and do the billionaire strut.
Awesome. Well, Brendan, hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate you and all you've done at Kansas State. We're so grateful to have 6 years with you, and look forward to making some more memories here down the stretch run. Best of luck the rest of this season, and hopefully you guys go 3-0, get to the Big 12 championship and college football playoff eventually. So thanks, Brendan. Appreciate you for jumping on the show. As always, for Nick Springer behind the scenes and Brendan Mott, I'm Cole Manbeck signing off on another episode of our 3 Mall Wildcat Weekly Player Spotlight.